Some places are meant to be left untouched. Some doors should never be opened. In 1998, a college student named Ethan Carter moved into an old apartment in Los Angeles. The rent was suspiciously cheap, but as a struggling student, he didn't ask too many questions. The landlord only had one strange rule: never open the door at the end of the hallway. Ethan laughed it off. He had no intention of breaking any rules until the knocking started. The first night was quiet, but at exactly 3:12 a.m., Ethan woke up to soft knocking from the forbidden door. Tap, tap, tap. It wasn't aggressive, just slow and deliberate, like someone waiting for him to answer. But when he got up and checked, the hallway was empty. He asked the landlord about it the next day, but the old man only shook his head and said, "You don't want to know." That night, the knocking came again, louder this time, and this time, a whisper followed. "Let me out, please." The whispering. Over the next few nights, Ethan noticed something chilling. The whispers were getting clearer. First, they were muffled, like someone speaking through a wall. But soon, he could make out the words. "It's dark. I've been here so long. Please, just open the door." The worst part, the voice sounded like his own. The footsteps. One night, Ethan decided to test something. He sprinkled flour in front of the door before going to bed. At 3:12 a.m., the knocking started again, but this time, he heard footsteps pacing outside his room. When he finally worked up the courage to check, he saw footprints in the flour, leading from the door to his bed. And the door, it was slightly open. The truth about the room. Terrified, Ethan confronted the landlord. The old man finally confessed. 20 years ago, there was a tenant, just like you. One day, he disappeared. We looked everywhere, but he was gone. The police never found a body. The only thing left was his room, and the knocking started soon after. Ethan demanded to know what was inside. The landlord sighed. "Nothing. The room is empty. It's always been empty." But Ethan had heard the voice. He knew something was inside. The final night, Ethan couldn't take it anymore. That night, he set up his phone to record the hallway while he slept. At 3:12 a.m., the knocking came. Then, the door swung open on its own. A shadowy figure crawled out. It had his face. "You left me here, Ethan. Now it's your turn." The camera footage cut to black. The next morning, Ethan was gone. They say no one stays in that apartment for more than a week. The knocking always starts at 3:12 a.m., and if you listen closely, you might hear Ethan's voice, still begging to be let out.